didn't see you there. Hi, Megan. Hey, so I wanted to make you something special for Christmas. So I decided to paint you a little Bob Ross, and I wanted to do a video of it so that you could watch the process, make it a little bit more entertaining than just receiving a Bob Ross in the mail. So anyway, this is one of Bob Ross's, one of his final ones, one of his last season paintings, and he was living in Florida, as you know, and he's got a great museum down there that I'm going to visit someday. Anyways, so this is my little tribute to Florida and to you. And I'm going to try to make it entertaining. Bob's with me there and on my socks. Happy little trees. So we're going to get started. Hopefully we can get this done in quick fashion so that you're not sitting there for 3 hours. I love you, girl. And so we're going to start out with our sky. And we're going to make a nice little sunset. So what I've done is I've coated the top of Florida with some liquid white. And so we're going to put some color on it now. I'm going to start with yellow ochre. Okay, we're going to start the sky out with some yellow ochre. Just a little bit there, throw a little color on, and then I'm going to go into, let's see, a little bit of the alizarin crimson, some red, because Florida has some beautiful sunsets, so I'm told. I actually visited Florida when I was in the 3rd grade. I went to Disney World with my grandparents. They took me there. So we're just blending some of this alizarin crimson into the sky. We're going to bring it all the way over here. It's mixing with that liquid white that's already on there, making it nice and soft and blended. We're going to go up. It's going to get a little bit lighter as we get to the top. Go all the way up here. And we're going to blend it down into here, just a little bit into that. Nice little streaky sunset of a sky. I'm going to just kind of, beautiful, look at that. Okay. And then I'm going to take a little bit of blue onto this same dirty brush and make that purple. So I'm going to grab some blue. Grab a little bit more red because we want it to be more red than blue. And make a nice lavender color for the sky. On our brush here. And I'm going to just, let's see here. I'm just going to kind of come down here towards the horizon and just put a little bit of this purple down here. Not get rid of all of the yellow, but just some of this purple. Blend it into the horizon there, to the water. And I'd already put some blue down here for our water line. A little bit of purple down here. And we'll get to that water here in a bit. And then I'm going to come up here. I'm just going to add some of this purple up here into the top of our sky. Make some nice transitions of colors. This beautiful sunset in Florida. Look how pretty that is. Yeah. Okay. And so now I'm going to take a fan brush. And I'm going to take some of that same lavender color. And we're going to create some clouds. So I'm going to go into here. Grab some more blue. Grab some more red. We want it more red than blue. And I'm going to grab a little bit of thinner so it'll flow a little easier. And just a little white. Make sure we got the nice color that we want. I want more red. Make a nice lavender color. Okay, and then up here on our canvas, we're just going to lay in some floaty clouds up here. They're going to be kind of stringy. I'm going to kind of go this little motion like this with my paintbrush. We're going to lay some little clouds in here. Make some over here. They come off the canvas. We're going to come up here into this part of the sky. Lay some more of these clouds in here. Fill up our sky with some pretty floaty clouds. I love it. I hope you love it too. I know you're loving Florida. I'm glad you're loving it, but we miss you here. There we go. Now we got some clouds in our sky. And I'm going to take a dry brush. I'm just going to kind of blend them a little bit. Barely touch my canvas. Blend those so they look soft and floaty in the sky. Look at that. Pretty, soft. Nice. I think I'm going to add some down here by the shoreline a little bit. There we go. Some more down here. Blend those in a little bit, make them soft. Push them back a little bit. Back in the distance. How pretty is that? Okay, and then I'm going to put some of the clouds just a little bit closer. So I'm going to make them a little darker. And I'm just going to add a little bit of, maybe a little bit more blue to my purple. Just so we have a little bit of depth in our sky. So I'm just going to put some in right here on top of some of these. They're going to be a little closer. Let's see here. You don't need a ton of them. We just, a little indication of some closer clouds here. Going off the canvas. And just like that, we're going to soften them up a little bit. Make them wispy. Nice. There we go. We got some clouds. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that sky. Hopefully it turns out whenever we pull it all off. And that's scary for me because I haven't done one of these before. So it could just totally fail. And I will just nix the video and just send you a painting that I've repainted. So, okay, so now that we have our sky completed, we're going to tackle our water. And I need to start out by coating it with some liquid clear. And when I say liquid clear, I'm using a float medium that helps us blend the colors on canvas a little bit more. So I'm going to add some of that now down here. It's just a clear gel looking substance there. It's going to go all the way down. It's going to blend everything out nicely for us. There we go. Okay. Now that I have that on there, I'm going to, let's see here, I'm going to start by making our wave. We're going to have a wave in this. So I'm going to take a little liner brush, if you can see that, and I'm going to get some of that liquid clear on it and some just solid white on my brush. Maybe I'll add a little blue to it. Heck. Maybe we'll make a nice little light blue color. Make it nice and runny. So here's our nice little blue color. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to decide where our little wave lives. It's going to kind of go across here like this. I'm going to twirl my brush a little bit. It's going to be an uneven line. And then I'm going to make just a little, right here, we're going to have a little hump. Like that. And that's where our little wave is going to live. It kind of looks rough right now, but we'll fix it. Take a little bit more of this and just kind of get a little crazy rough with it and spin your brush. This just makes some foam, some uneven foam on our wave. There we go. Now I'm going to take a little brush with a little light color on it, and I'm just going to lighten this up underneath a little bit. And then I'm going to take this little blendy brush and I'm going to lighten that color a little bit underneath there. We want it to have a little bit of a light color underneath the wave. And then we'll have some dark. It'll separate your wave out. So there we go. Have a little bit of light under our wave. And now, I lost my picture. Let's see here. I'm going to come back to the back with my same little liner brush. And along the horizon, I'm just going to make some little waves in the back. So I'm just going to kind of do this motion along the dark color just to make some little waves. So there's not a whole lot of ocean in this picture, but you want it to look rough back here a little bit. There we go. Just a little bit of waves where you want some motion. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to take some more of my white. I need to make the top of my wave, so I'm just going to have it kind of come down like this. And we're going to make a few little motions like this, the top of our wave. Usually on a bigger ocean picture, we do that with a fan brush, and then it just looks like it's swooping over. Okay, so we've got our wave. Got a light little action here that going over into our foamy little top here. Gonna add some more just straight white to the foam, just kind of so you can see where that's at, where it's crashing down. Okay. All right, now that we got our wave made, I'm going to add some more dark color down under here. We need some more dark under here. Separate it. I'm going to use my fan brush. It's got some dark on it. Add some more dark underneath here. It kind of separates out our wave. Okay. Now that we have that, I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab some brown and we're going to start making our sand, building our land up a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit, it's called dark sienna. It's just a reddish brown. I'm going to take some of that on my brush. I'm going to start adding in some brown sand down here. I'm going to add a little bit of brown to it, darken it up just a little. Kind of blend those two a little bit. Okay, and what we're doing here is we're adding dark color because eventually we're going to put some light color on it. And in order to see the light, you got to have some dark, and that's very deep and spiritual. But in order to see the light, sometimes you have to have the dark. Okay, again, I'm just using brown and sienna, burnt sienna. We have that liquid clear on there, so hopefully it's nice and blended and soft. Kind of go up into the water line a little bit there. Nice dark color. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring some of this water up onto our land. So I'm going to take my knife. Woo! Be very careful with your knife. I just dropped it, about chopped off my toes. Okay, so I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to get a little bit of white and blue and make a nice little light blue color on my knife here, on the palette. Blend it. So I have a nice light blue. And I'm going to cut off a roll. I'm going to show you my roll. I'm going to show you my roll. There it is. I hope you can see it. Oh, there's a roll. Okay, then I'm going to come up here. I'm going to decide where my water line is, and I'm just going to start putting it in here. And it's going to just kind of be jaggedy. Gonna uneven line there. And that's your water. Now I'm going to take a clean, dry fan brush, and I'm just going to pull some of that water, that foam, back, straight back, and it's going to create an illusion of it just coming up onto the land. See that? It just kind of pulls my foam back in there a little bit. Back towards my wave. Okay, so we have nice action there. We got a nice wave line coming in. I'm going to add a little bit more. I want some more color on there. Go back in with my light. Pull some of that back in there. There we go. Easy. Okay, so we've just made our first layer of that little splash coming onto the land. So I'm going to do another one down here. I'm going to add a little bit more of this clear so it'll blend. And I'm actually going to go into a little bit of white and some of that sienna and lighten up my sand just a little bit at this point. We just want to gradually get lighter as we come closer to us. There we go. Now, I'm going to take another roll of that white and blue. Another roll. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm going to make another layer of that. So we're going to come up here. We're going to kind of another level of that. Would you look at that? Okay. I'm going to take the same clean, dry fan brush, and I'm just going to pull some of that back. Which it's not clean anymore, so I'm going to clean it. Dry it off. And start pulling this white back. Just a little bit. Some little stringy things. There. It's not going to totally meet that other wave, but it's going to get close. But we still need a little bit of dark between them. I'm going to go a little bit more of this. Let's see here. Oops. Gotta get a little bit more on my knife here. Okay. Okay, so then we just add a little bit more white there so we could see it. Just pull that back a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take my fan brush. I'm just going to pull a little bit of this down, straight down. And that makes our sand look wet. And then we're going to just go across it, barely. And that makes our sand look wet down below. I know it's going to be really hard for you to see this right now, but whenever you get it, watch the video and you'll see how everything was done and how easy it was. So let's just pull a little bit more of that down. Let's see here. I'm going to grab, actually I'm going to do it with this. I just want a little bit more of that white. There we go. And that's actually a pretty decent wave. Now, I'm going to go in with my liner brush again. And I'm going to get some liquid white and some, liquid white. Which liquid white is just that runny, thin white. So I'm getting some of that. And I'm going to make some little foamy things. So he just kind of, let's see here, I need less than that. He just kind of does this and pulls it down. I need a little bit more liquid clear on it. We just kind of bring in some little squiggly dooders. And this part is always so difficult for me, but we're going to do it anyway. And it's just foam, and foam comes off of your wave. It looks like little veins and little cool things. Crashes into the next. But you want to follow your wave. You want to go in the same direction as your wave, so it's going up a little bit. So, actually, I'm going to grab an even tinier brush for those details. Okay, and here's where we just kind of make some little, just trying to add some movement to your wave here. And the more you blend, I mean, if you hate it, it'll go away because you have that blending medium on there. But I love it. So, and then I'm going to go back in here and I'm just going to add some highlights along the horizon with this. Just some more highlights. Okay. Get a little bit more of the swooping action here. Okay, and then I'm going to take the same little liner brush and I'm going to grab some of that dark purple and we're going to add some shadow underneath our waves, so that underneath our little land waves, so that we have some depth on those. So I'm going to take it and go into some of that dark purple color that we have. And I'm just going to kind of, whoops, there's a happy accident. I'm going to kind of line the wave a little bit under here. And that's just going to give it some depth. Like it's just crashing onto the land here. So there's a little bit. It's like a shadow. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to take a little bit of the purple, go back up in here, add a little bit more highlights and such. These are shadows, lowlights, I guess is what they're called. Okay. Smooth that out a little bit. I hope, if anything, Megan, that you see this and you appreciate that I tried. It's not going to be my favorite. It will be my favorite. It will be, because I always am so discouraged when I start, but then whenever I get done, I'm like, heck yeah, I did that. Okay. So, pretty happy with that. Okay. Now, I'm going to lighten up my sand a little bit closer to us. So I'm going to go back in with the white and my burnt sienna. I'm just going to make it a little bit lighter up here because we're getting closer. Okay. Even closer. Let's see. A little bit more white. There we go. Brighten that up. Let it zing. Okay, now up here we're going to have a little landmass that lives there. So we're going to decide where we want our little landmass. I'm going to grab a little bit more white, lighter color. And we're just going to drop it in. It's going to go kind of like this. Let's see here, like this, I think. A little bit more white. You're not going to be able to see that real well, but we just are making a nice white little, I don't know, mound here. Little hill. Like that. Okay. You can barely see it, I know. This just gives us our little starting point anyway. There we go. And then I'm going to take another fan brush and I'm going to put some grasses on it. So we're going to use the sap green, a little bit of black, maybe a little Prussian blue. We're going to mix that. Sap green, Prussian blue, makes a nice dark color and a little bit of black. Okay, so you can see it. Okay. Now I'm going to